Hey guys, welcome back to another week with the Mystic Mover. I am bringing you your weekly 7-day predictions on the energies to come. If you don't know who I am, I'm the Mystic Mover. I am a spiritual coach and energy healer, and I like to bring you messages weekly to be able to help you navigate through your spiritual journey. So this week, I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be focusing on a few things. So I have pulled about 7 cards. And these 7 cards are really talking to me about your journey and your path and where you currently are right now. So jumping right into the reading, the first card that came out of the deck was the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups represents a period in our lives where we are very focused, or where we were very focused on a certain direction or manifestation of our life. But that manifestation or that focus has left us burnt out, frustrated, disappointed, and really stuck where we are. The 8 of Cups is also speaking about there being a spiritual void. And a spiritual void is where we're not happy, regardless of how much time or energy that we have put into a certain aspect of something. But this is talking to us about needing to revamp or needing to review or step back into what really benefits us now. So with the 8 of Cups, whatever it is that we have in our eye view to attract or to manifest right now is causing either delays or a lot of unexpected type of energy, right? So we're having to either wait a little bit longer than we actually desired, or all of the energy that we actually put out into something is not seeming to manifest in the way that we would have preferred it to manifest. So we're talking about emotional disappointment. Now, there's some psychological and mental issues happening because of this disappointment. And what we have to realize when things don't necessarily happen the way that we desire is that there is a thing called divine timing. We are unable to rush the energy. We can only apply the energy. So what this card is telling me is that you need to revisit the things that really make you feel happy. Are there some things that you need to say goodbye to? What are you holding on to that is keeping you in a mental holding space that is preventing you from moving? So the 8 of Cups is a stuck energy. We're stuck in our mind, we're stuck in our thoughts, and all of this has to do with something physical in our world. Something that we've thought has created this emotional void on the inside of us, and now we are trying to figure out how to move forward. With this 8 of Cups, it talks about waiting. I'm just going to wait now because I don't feel as if the efforts that I've put out has brought back to me the return that I expected. So now I'm going to wait. Spirit is actually saying, no, we don't do no waiting. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep the momentum going. You do not stop because things are not going the way that you want them to go. You stop and you reflect if you do stop. Well, once you do take a moment and stop, you breathe. You take a moment to have a little bit of reflection to see what is out of alignment, and then you keep going forward. But The Eight of Cups is asking that you explore all possibilities. Look at what your goals were when you started versus what is taking place now, because there is some information within that time frame that can help you connect the dots. Just because you spent a certain amount of time working towards something does not mean that it was not necessary. This was the beginning stages. Now we're moving over into something different. The next one we have is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups in reverse is talking to us about self-love. We got to focus on our self. We got to make sure that we're showing grace to ourselves. We are not being hard on ourselves because life is taking a turn that we're not prepared for, or not even prepared for, but life is taking a turn that we were not expecting. That is what life is. Life does pull out its tricks, okay? And this Two of Cups is talking about, please fill your own cup before you expect somebody else to fill it, because the Eight of Cups is also talking about waiting for change, waiting for something to happen, waiting for a shift to take place. Now, if you can't see this, this is the Priestess card from the Work Your Light. The Priestess card says, how are you being called to step up and lead? So what I'm feeling here is some resistance. We're trying to work towards a specific goal that we have in mind, but what we're going to have to do is to sit back and take a moment and meditate on where we are. So when we meditate, I think a lot of people think that that's just, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna be quiet. Now that's necessary in some points, but what I mean in this time of meditation is strictly review. I'm going to review I'm going to review, where am I really in my life? What do I really want? What do I really desire for myself? Is what I'm chasing something that I truly desire? Or have I been chasing these things because I was expecting a certain reward? Because if a person is getting burnt out and they're frustrated about their efforts, that means that they may be possibly chasing something that they don't have the appropriate why I'm going after this goal. I'm chasing after something because of a reward, which that's perfectly fine. We do deserve rewards, but when it gets to a point of the chase and becomes an emotional struggle for us, that is where we are messing with our vibration. So the Priestess card is asking you, what do you really want out of your life? What you've been doing in the past been something that's soul work for you, soulful, soul fulfilling? Or have you been doing things to pay the bills, to keep up with the truck or keep up with the car, to satisfy and make other people happy? You have an intense calling over your life, and it's not about doing what's popular, what's trendy. It's about doing the work of your soul. I see a person who is extremely frustrated by their efforts. However, these frustrations have to take place in order for you to gain the inspiration and motivation that you need to push you into where it is that you're going. There is a desire inside of you that has been pushed down because, life happens. I would really prefer to do this, but right now, the most attainable thing that I feel for me would be to do X, Y, and Z. When this Priestess card comes out, it's telling us that we need to focus back on the things that our heart desires. Focus back on the things that brought us joy. Where does my happiness really and truly rely? Where do I pull my source of happiness from? Where do I get my fulfillment? Just because I'm working a job and I'm getting paid and it is meeting my needs, is this job really fulfilling me? Or is this job holding me back, keeping me in a place where I am unable to move, or it's keeping me in a place of frustration. The next two cards we had, conclusions are within reach and a fiery climax approaches. So conclusions are within reach tells us that this is a period for us not to be hard on ourselves. This is a period for us to be very observant with everything that is happening within our life, because everything is coming together just like a puzzle. And it is very important that we stay in tune with the bad along with the good. Negative things happening in our life, oh baby, that only means that I am getting more information in order to make this thing make sense. Negativity happening in our life is ground shaking for us. It simply only means that there's more to this than what I'm being led to believe, and there's more to the puzzle than I could possibly see or possibly putting together. It is very important to step into the priestess energy. The priestess energy is very intuitive. The priestess energy is quiet. The priestess knows that even when things that I can't explain, things that I do not really have the verbiage for, I know that there's a clarity that is happening for me on a supernatural level that shall be divinely given to me and shown to me in the right time. And what I should do in this time while I am waiting for that clarity is to stay in tune with myself, work through all psychological and mental blocks that I am receiving, because this is now when the spiritual healing takes place, not later. Now spiritual healing is taking place, because guess what? There's a fiery climax approaching. There is something in our life. There is something in our life that is going to rear its head. And when it does, it's going to be time for us to shake and move. Do not be distracted by your own emotions, by your own eye, by your own mind. Don't be distracted. Conclusions are within reach. Spirit is about to drop some things to us. He's about to drop some nuggets. And you got to know, if that heart center is blocked, congested, you're going to miss the message. So when we talk about a fiery climax approaches to, it also reminds us again, every single card on this table has been telling you to stop being hard on yourself. It is not your fault. You are not a mess up. You are not slow. You're not dumb. A lot of things have been purposely hidden from you, because guess what? There is something at the internal, on the internal, that we're flushing, because later on, when it circles back around for you to have to be in this same position, we want you to be in a better way to be receptive of what's going on. We want you to be able to have a strategy to be able to keep pushing through and not being stopped. This is just this level. You understand? You're going to another level, and on that level, you're going to have to be able to deal with these exact same things in a different way. So now, before I take you to this elevated level, I need you to focus on what's happening in your heart, what's happening in your mind. What is happening in your heart and your mind? Explore yourself. Where do I want to be? If you're not where you want to be, how are you going to get there? Okay, fiery climax approaches, gentleness. There is no reason why you should be beating yourself up about something that you do not know. No reason. Because the spirit is going to be guiding you. But before you get to the point of where you are going to be receiving this intuitive guidance, I need your energy cleared. You have heart chakra blockages. And when the heart is congested, the heart can kill people. You understand? So the heart can kill what you're doing and where you're going and where you're about to go. That heart, the way I think about myself, the way I view myself, the way I think about my gifts, the way I view my creativity and my art, my mind, my truth, whatever it is for you. We're going through a period of learning how to deal with all of that. Okay. Okay. 10 of Wands, baby. 10 of Wands is talking about not feeling good enough after we've done a lot of work. So it's like the energy of, I'm tired of people telling me to keep my head up. I'm tired of people telling me it's gonna be okay. I'm tired of people telling me to keep pushing. I'm sick of it because I've put in an enormous amount of work and I still feel like I'm not where I want to be. Got it. Cool. Let me tell you something. The reason why you're not where you want to be, because you got to be able to handle these type of situations. Like, this should not be phasing you. This should not be phasing you. If you've done work and if you've been through a whole bunch of challenges, now granted, it's not easy and it becomes a task. It becomes overwhelming, to say the least. But guess what? When we tap back into our present moment, I have breath in my body. I have the activity of my limbs. I have the wellness of my mind. These are blessings. These are gifts. These are the things that matter. These are the things that you're going to actually need in order to achieve. Not the rewards that you thought that you should have been received by now. No. Because guess what? You have only amplified your powers by going through all of that you went through. So now when it is your time and when it is time for you to step out, like it says with this fiery climax approaching, we have not only the knowledge, but we have the wisdom. We have the strength. We have the intuitive guide. We are stronger than we've ever been before. And that is not to take lightly, because guess what? If I have strength on something that I did 5 months ago, and I didn't even really know what I was doing now, that means the energy has built up to the point where the magician is ready to be released. Oh boy. Oh boy. 10 of Wands. Ask your angels for what you need. There are too many people who are feeling as if it is them against the world. It is not you against the world. You got to open that subconscious mind up. You got to think higher than what it is that you're seeing, because what it is that you're seeing is disrupting you from being able to step up and lead, baby. Do not allow this mind, this brain. It's a trend. It's a trend for us to think that we by ourselves. And it's not your fault. You've been taught that. You've been taught that. But guess what? There are spirit guides among you. There are ancestors among you. There are universal energies among you, working with you. But if you don't recognize them, if you don't give them that acknowledgement, they'll never be able to do anything for you. You have got to stop being in a victim mode. Step outside of the victim mode. Look at my emotion. What is my emotion trying to tell me? What is this block trying to tell me? Why am I in this position that I'm in right now? Because it is not until you sit down and do that that you will walk into your magician energy, where you're able to recreate, start all over, find the motivation again to do these things all over. And not only your angel. So when your angels or your spirit guides assist you, sometimes you won't even see the assistance. You won't see it. And other times they will send things in your physical world. They'll send people to you. They'll send resources to you. You'll get stuff in the mail. You'll be walking. You'll meet somebody. You have got to be receptive and be open to the things that are happening. Now, don't be gullible. That's why you got to get them emotions in check, so that when the spirit is trying to guide you and trying to show you what it is that you need to be doing, that you will be on board and you won't be discombobulated, unable to receive a message. You cannot be around here upset and mad at the universe because you can't receive a message, because your heart chakra is blocked. When your heart chakra is blocked, that's the center being for you. When your heart chakra is blocked, think about all the chakras below you and the chakras above you. The center, the plug, is not even working. So, 10 of Wands, take this life one day at a time. I don't care how much time you missed prior to this moment. God gonna make up for all that. You worried about the wrong thing. You worried about he don't care. The universe does not care. The universe is trying to get you to deal with the shit that is deeply rooted within inside of you so that you will be able to live this life in the way that you want. You can't live it when your heart is congested and your fears are constantly taking over you. You can't. One day at a time, and stop trying to live 10 years in one day. You can't do that. And that is causing stress and strain on your chakra centers. And when you cause stress and strain on your chakra centers, you're not even manifesting anything else other than that stress and strain on your chakras. So we got to take this one day at a time. And I'm not going to focus on this disappointment and void all day long. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to acknowledge it. It's there. Ask the necessary questions, gain the information, and I'm going to immediately start to practice self-love. Start to walk and guide myself in the way that I know that is nurturing for me. No more self-sabotage. Last but not least, the Magician. You have the energy of being able to create whatever it is that your heart desires. But you have got to believe it. You have got to receive it. And you also have to be realistic. And you got to sit down with yourself and you got to be your best friend right now and keep it real with yourself. Like, homie, we got to get waiting for change, not going to do it. Being mad about what happened is not going to do it. The best thing for us to do right now is to pick ourselves up, congratulate ourselves for how far we've been, how far we've come, to give ourselves an applaud for still standing strong, for still even having an emotional block that wants more. And from there, we simply have to just surrender. I release all resistance to my goals, my dreams, my desires, my ambitions, whatever it is. I release all resistance. And I'm going to start over afresh with new breath. Because as I do this, I will be recharged, I will be remotivated, and I will step back into my power of the Magician. So the Magician and the High Priestess are one and the same. They work side by side. And you have both of them in this reading. This is a call for you to remember your power. Remember who you are. You are not a circumstance. You are not anything that has happened to you prior. You are not your emotions. You are not that hurt. That is something that you will process. But only you know how to redo or restart this energy. And that is through exploring your happiness and exploring your specific goals for yourself. So in the week coming up, it's going to look like a lot of shadow work. I'm going to think about some journal prompts to be able to give us, to be able to help this week go forward. So if this message did not resonate with you, do know that I offer personal readings for more specific to your personal life. I also offer coaching courses. So you can go on to mysticmelaninshop.com. You can view the coaching courses. You can also view the book a reading tab and choose from there. But until next time, you guys, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I will see you next week.